Welcome back to the Coins Quest, the home of hidden treasures, rare discoveries, and life-changing finds that could be sitting right in your pocket change right now. In today's video, we're diving into 4 of the most unbelievable Kennedy half dollars ever struck, coins so rare, so mysterious, and so valuable that their combined worth reaches nearly $46 million. We're talking about the 1972 D. Kennedy half dollar worth $15 million, the 1974 no mint mark half dollar worth $12 million, the 1978 no mint mark half dollar worth $10 million, and the mind-blowing 1979 no mint mark half dollar valued at $9 million. Each of these coins hides incredible minting errors, shocking design mistakes, and jaw-dropping backstories that turn ordinary 50-cent pieces into multi-million-dollar treasures. Whether you're a beginner just starting your coin collecting journey or a passionate treasure hunter, this video will show you exactly what to look for, from hidden doubling, rare strike flaws, and vanished mint marks to the secret details only experts know how to spot. We'll reveal where to sell them, how to protect them, and the proven steps to make sure you never miss out on a valuable coin again. So grab your change jar, turn up the volume, and get ready, because by the end of this video, you might just realize that a small coin hiding in your pocket could make you a millionaire overnight. Let's begin the quest. 1972 D. Kennedy half dollar that has stunned the numismatic world with its staggering estimated worth of $15 million, a coin born from a combination of minting mistakes, striking errors, and historical rarity that make it one of the most talked about coins ever discovered by collectors, historians, and even investors around the world. And as we explore its story, we'll also uncover where you can sell your rare coins for top dollar, how to spot valuable errors, and what every beginner coin collector should know before stepping into this amazing world of coin collecting where hidden treasures often lie in plain sight, waiting for someone sharp-eyed enough to notice them. Now imagine this: you're sorting through an old coin jar, or maybe you inherited a box of coins from your grandparents, and there among the silver, copper, and nickel shines a 1972 Kennedy half dollar with that small D mint mark under Kennedy's neck, minted in Denver. But something about it feels off. Maybe the strike looks doubled, or the letters seem slightly misplaced. Or perhaps there's a faint but visible die crack running through the face, and you think nothing of it, maybe just another old coin. But that very coin could be worth millions if it's one of those rare minting errors that happened during a chaotic period at the US Mint in the early 1970s when mass production, high demand, and imperfect machinery combined to produce a handful of coins that would later become some of the rarest in American history. The 1972 D. Kennedy half dollar is an incredible example of how minting flaws can transform an ordinary 50-cent coin into a multi-million-dollar treasure, and the reasons for its value are complex yet fascinating. Experts believe that during the striking process, the mint dies were misaligned, resulting in a dramatic doubling of inscriptions such as Liberty and In God We Trust. In some examples, Kennedy's profile appears ghostly, slightly offset, or even duplicated, what collectors call a double-dyed verse. Other specimens show planchet errors, where the blank coin disc used to strike the design wasn't properly prepared, leading to missing edges, clipped planchets, or incomplete metal flow, and in some cases, the 1972 D. Kennedy half dollar exhibits unusual metal composition differences, small variations in the copper-nickel clad layers that can be verified through weight and metal analysis, making such a coin truly unique and historically significant. These anomalies are what make the coin incredibly valuable. But rarity alone doesn't make a coin worth millions. Condition, demand, and provenance all play a part. A coin in pristine mint state condition, graded by top agencies like PCGS or NGC, can fetch astronomical prices because collectors and investors are willing to pay any amount to own a flawless piece of American minting history. The legend of the $15 million 1972 D half dollar spread after a verified specimen was discovered in a private collection, confirmed to have several distinct die errors and striking irregularities, and it instantly became the talk of the numismatic community, capturing the imagination of millions of collectors and inspiring countless others to start checking their own Kennedy halves for potential fortune. The Kennedy half dollar series, first minted in 1964 to honor the late President John F. Kennedy, has always been iconic, but few years stand out like 1972, when both the Philadelphia and Denver mints were under pressure to meet massive production goals, and errors slipped through unnoticed. Doubled dies, off-center strikes, planchet flaws, die cracks, missing mint marks, and even partial restrikes. It's these imperfections that now make certain coins worth small fortunes. For new collectors, the story of the 1972 D. Kennedy half-dollar is a powerful reminder that every coin tells a story, and sometimes that story is worth millions. But knowing how and where to sell such coins is just as important as finding them. You can't simply walk into a random pawn shop and expect fair value, because most local shops or inexperienced buyers will offer far less than true market worth. Instead, serious collectors should look for trusted avenues like certified coin dealers, major coin auctions such as Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers, and online platforms like eBay or Great Collections, where coins graded by professional services attract international buyers and often achieve record-breaking sales. Always ensure your coin is authenticated and graded before selling. PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, and NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Company, are industry leaders, and their certification not only guarantees authenticity but can increase your coin's value exponentially, especially if it's an error coin or unique variant. When dealing with high-value coins like the 1972 D. Kennedy half-dollar, documentation and photographs are essential. The more evidence you have of authenticity, the better your chance of commanding top prices. For beginners, it's easy to feel overwhelmed, but every expert collector started the same way, by learning to observe, research, and handle coins with care. Start small, learn to recognize mint marks, understand the difference between proof, uncirculated, and circulated coins, and study how mint errors happen. Sometimes the tiniest flaw, a doubled letter, an off-center design, a missing detail, can make the difference between a coin worth 50 cents and one worth $50,000 or more. And the beauty of coin collecting is that treasures are often hiding in your own home. Always check old coin rolls from banks, inherited collections, or even thrift store finds. Many incredible discoveries have been made by everyday people who simply paid attention. In the case of the 1972 D. Kennedy half-dollar, its fame also lies in how it symbolizes the unpredictable magic of minting, how human error and mechanical imperfection can produce art that transcends its original purpose. Imagine the moment a worker at the Denver Mint struck a slightly misaligned die without realizing it, unknowingly creating a coin that decades later would make someone a millionaire. That's the thrill of numismatics, the endless possibilities that every small detail holds. But collectors must also beware of counterfeits. As the value of rare coins skyrockets, so do fakes, so investing in a jeweler's loupe, a digital scale, and reference guides is crucial. Real 1972 D half-dollars weigh around 11.34 grams, have a diameter of 30.6 millimeters, and are composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel, though certain error coins might vary slightly due to planchet defects, which adds to their uniqueness. Always cross-check your findings with official mint records and grading databases to avoid being misled. And when you find something that seems rare, resist the urge to clean or polish it. Cleaning a coin can drastically reduce its value. Instead, store it in protective holders and consult with professional graders before making any decisions. Now, when it comes to selling, timing also matters. The coin market fluctuates, influenced by demand, precious metal prices, and collector trends, so keeping an eye on auction results and following expert channels like the Coins Quest can help you decide when to sell for maximum profit. Many collectors choose to sell during peak convention seasons or when similar coins break records, as this can spark renewed interest and drive prices higher. If you ever find a coin like the 1972 D. Kennedy half-dollar, you're not just holding metal, you're holding history, artistry, and a piece of luck that connects generations. For beginners, collecting coins isn't just about profit, it's about curiosity, learning, and the thrill of discovery. Every scratch, every letter, every mint mark tells a story of time, technology, and human touch. Start by building your knowledge, study U.S. mint history, learn the difference between proof and circulation strikes, and familiarize yourself with grading scales from poor, P1, to mint state, MS70. This knowledge will not only protect you from scams, but also help you appreciate the beauty behind every coin. The Kennedy half-dollar series, in particular, offers countless opportunities for collectors, with varieties like the 1964 silver issues, the rare 1970D, and the experimental 1975 transitional strikes. Among these, the 1972D remains a legend, its fame driven by mystery, rarity, and era perfection. Stories circulate about examples found with doubled reverse lettering, off-center designs, and die polishing lines that sparkle under magnification, all features that add uniqueness and value. Some collectors even speculate about a small batch of experimental planchets used in Denver that year, which could explain certain weight and color discrepancies in surviving coins, making these coins even more mysterious and desirable. Whether that's myth or fact, the excitement it creates is real. So, how can beginners increase their chances of finding rare coins like this? Start by checking your change. Yes, even modern coins can have errors. Visit local coin shows to learn from experienced collectors, join online forums, and watch educational channels like the Coins Quest that share real-world examples of valuable finds. Next, 1974 No Mint Mark Kennedy half-dollar, a seemingly ordinary coin that has become a legend worth a staggering $12 million, shocking collectors and investors alike with its incredible rarity, mysterious minting origin, and striking errors that make it one of the most valuable coins in modern U.S. history. And what makes this story even more fascinating is that many of these coins are still believed to be out there, hidden in old collections, forgotten drawers, or unsearched rolls of half-dollars waiting for the right pair of eyes to recognize their value. So if you think rare coins only exist in museums or elite vaults, think again, because this story proves that life-changing discoveries can happen in your very own pocket change. The 1974 Kennedy half-dollar was part of an important era in U.S. mint history, a time when America's coinage was transitioning from silver to clad metal compositions and production was happening at breakneck speed to meet nationwide demand. And in that fast-paced environment, small mistakes and overlooked details led to minting anomalies that decades later would redefine the meaning of rarity. And among all those, the 1974 No Mint Mark variant stands out as one of the most mysterious because, unlike its counterparts struck at Denver, bearing a D, or San Francisco, bearing an S for proof issues, this particular version lacks any mint mark at all, suggesting it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, yet its characteristics don't quite match typical Philadelphia issues of that year. Experts believe a small batch of planchets, blank coin discs, intended for another test run were struck with the Kennedy design and released into circulation by mistake, and to this day, only a handful of confirmed examples have surfaced, each displaying subtle yet distinct minting errors that elevate their value into the millions. The most notable of these errors are doubling in the inscriptions, especially in the word trust and the date 1974, as well as a faint but visible die clash on the reverse, where traces of Kennedy's profile can be seen mirrored faintly above the eagle's wings, something that only happens when the coin dies strike each other without a planchet between them, leaving ghost-like impressions that later transfer onto the struck coins. And that's not all. Some examples of the 1974 No Mint Mark Kennedy half-dollar have shown microscopic variations in metal content when tested, hinting at possible experimental planchets, maybe leftovers from previous runs or transitional metal tests, which makes them even rarer and historically significant. These small differences are what turn a 50-cent piece into a multi-million-dollar collector's dream, because in the world of numismatics, perfection is common, but imperfection with rarity is priceless. The story of the $12 million 1974 No Mint Mark Kennedy half-dollar begins with a chance discovery by a hobbyist collector who, while sorting through a bag of circulated coins purchased from a local bank, noticed something unusual: a half-dollar with sharper relief, slightly off-center details, and no mint mark where there should have been one. Thinking it might be a simple variation, he set it aside, but when he later compared it with a known 1974D and 1974S proof, he realized that his coin was entirely different in tone, texture, and die alignment. Further inspection under magnification revealed doubling on the lettering and a subtle die crack through Kennedy's hairline, clues that this was no ordinary coin. After professional authentication by NGC confirmed the coin's unique characteristics and possible mint era origin, the numismatic world exploded with excitement, and soon, collectors and investors were clamoring to find more. But despite extensive searches, only a very limited number of these era coins have surfaced since, solidifying their place among the rarest U.S. coins ever made. For those new to coin collecting, stories like this aren't just fascinating. They're deeply motivating because they show how easily life-changing discoveries can happen to anyone willing to look carefully and learn. The Kennedy half-dollar series itself is a collector's favorite because of its connection to American history, a tribute to President John F. Kennedy following his assassination in 1963, a symbol of national pride and remembrance, and a coin that has undergone multiple design and metal composition changes over the decades. By 1974, the mint had fully transitioned from 40% silver to copper nickel clad, and production was booming, with millions of coins struck for circulation. But that's exactly what makes era coins from that year so valuable, because among those millions, the rare mistakes are like needles in a haystack, and each surviving specimen is a miracle of chance. When it comes to selling a coin like this, knowing where to go and how to handle the process is just as critical as finding it. If you ever come across what appears to be a 1974 Kennedy half-dollar without a mint mark, don't rush to sell it to a local shop or pawn dealer. Instead, take a careful and patient approach. First, handle it minimally, always by the edges, and never clean or polish it. Then have it professionally authenticated and graded by trusted institutions like PCGS or NGC. The grading process not only verifies its authenticity but also assigns a grade that directly influences its market value. A verified mint era coin in mint-state condition, MS65 or higher, can fetch exponentially higher prices, sometimes attracting international bidders at major auctions like Heritage or Stack's Bowers. These auction houses specialize in high-end coins and have connections to serious collectors who are willing to pay top dollar for verified rarities. Once graded, you can also list your coin on reputable online platforms like Great Collections or even eBay, provided you include clear photographs of both obverse and reverse sides, weight details, and certification information. Transparency builds trust and draws competitive offers. For beginner collectors, the 1974 no-mint mark Kennedy half-dollar serves as an inspiring reminder to always check your change and learn the basics of identifying errors. Start with a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe and look for small clues, doubling, off-center strikes, die cracks, or missing mint marks. Learn to recognize how mint marks are normally positioned, and how their absence might signal a unique variant. Also, familiarize yourself with mint production records. The U.S. Mint's public archives can help you understand how many coins were struck at each facility, giving context to your finds. Joining coin collecting communities online or visiting coin shows in your area can provide invaluable insights from experts who've handled rare coins firsthand. These interactions can help you distinguish between genuine mint errors and post-mint damage, a crucial skill that protects beginners from costly mistakes. Many first-time collectors confuse scratches, wear, or toning with mint errors, but real errors originate during production, and understanding that difference can make or break your success in numismatics. The 1974 no-mint mark Kennedy half-dollar is a perfect case study for how such knowledge pays off. For instance, slight misalignments in strike pressure, die deterioration, or planchet preparation can all create visible anomalies. A double die error occurs when the coin die itself was engraved twice at slightly different angles, causing letters and numbers to appear doubled. A die crack results when the die develops small fractures that leave raised lines on the coin's surface. Off-center strikes happen when the coin blank isn't perfectly centered between the dies, leading to part of the design being missing. These are the kinds of details that turn ordinary coins into extraordinary finds. Some collectors also suspect that a few 1974 no-mint mark halves were part of test strikes for proof planchets that were accidentally released into circulation, which would explain the unusually sharp detail and mirror-like finish seen on certain examples. Such anomalies, combined with missing mint marks, create a perfect storm of rarity, historical intrigue, and collector demand. Now, when it comes to understanding value, remember that condition and rarity go hand in hand. A coin in pristine condition with a confirmed mint error can command astronomical prices, as proven by the $12 million valuation of the 1974 no-mint Mark Kennedy half-dollar and top grade. But beyond monetary value, owning such a piece is like holding a time capsule from the mint's most fascinating era. It connects you to a story of craftsmanship, imperfection, and human history, a tangible piece of the past that has survived decades to tell its tale. For collectors starting out, one of the best ways to build expertise is by studying certified examples online through PCGS Coinfax or NGC's photo archives. Comparing your coins to verified examples trains your eye to detect subtle differences that others might miss. Over time, this skill can turn your hobby into a source of real income, especially as the market for rare coins continues to grow globally. Next, 1978 no-mint Mark Kennedy half-dollar, a coin that has captured the imagination of collectors around the world and shocked the numismatic community with its unbelievable valuation of $10 million, a price tag that comes not just from its rarity, but from the extraordinary story, the remarkable minting mistakes, and the history that make it one of the most desirable coins ever to exist. And as always, the thrill lies in the possibility that one of these coins could still be sitting in someone's drawer, change jar, or family collection, waiting to be found by an observant eye who knows what to look for. The 1978 Kennedy half-dollar was struck during an era when the U.S. Mint was focusing on consistency and high-volume production, having already transitioned fully from silver to the copper-nickel-clad composition used since 1971. But in the relentless rhythm of mass minting, small imperfections sometimes slip through. And one of those mistakes led to the birth of the mysterious 1978 no-mint Mark variant, a coin that would later be valued in the realm of millions for its unintentional uniqueness. To the casual observer, the 1978 Kennedy half-dollar may appear ordinary, featuring the familiar portrait of President John F. Kennedy on the obverse, designed by Gilroy Roberts, and the majestic eagle on the reverse by Frank Gasparo. But what makes this particular version so special is what's missing: the mint mark that identifies where it was struck, which in this case was supposed to be the D for Denver or the S for proof coins from San Francisco. However, several examples surfaced over the years with no mint mark at all, suggesting that they may have originated from the Philadelphia Mint, which traditionally did not use a mint mark on circulation strikes before 1980. But the odd part about these coins is that their characteristics don't align perfectly with normal Philadelphia issues, leading experts to theorize that a small experimental batch was produced under unique conditions, possibly involving dye tests or misallocated planchets. The result was a handful of coins with subtle anomalies that make them extraordinary, faint doubling in inscriptions like Liberty and In God We Trust, slightly rotated dies creating a twist in the design alignment, and in some rare instances, unusual planchet composition or thickness variations detected under modern spectroscopic analysis, indicating the possibility that these coins were struck using leftover or experimental metal blanks. Each of these details contributes to their immense rarity and value, because in numismatics, every deviation from normal production can create a level of uniqueness that collectors crave, and when only a few known examples exist, their prices can skyrocket beyond imagination. The story of the $10 million 1978 no-mint Mark Kennedy half-dollar begins with a chance discovery, as many legendary coin tales do. A retired coin enthusiast in Pennsylvania reportedly found one of these coins in a bag of unsearched halves purchased from a local bank, initially noticing only that the coin had unusually strong relief and a mirror-like surface not typical of circulation strikes. Upon closer inspection with magnification, he noticed the absence of any mint mark beneath Kennedy's bust and subtle doubling around the date. Believing it could be something special, he submitted the coin for grading to the Numismatic Guarantee Company, NGC, where it was later authenticated as an exceptionally rare mint error with proof-like qualities and no mint mark, an anomaly that didn't match any official production record from that year. The revelation sent ripples through the coin world, igniting speculation and inspiring collectors worldwide to recheck their own 1978 Kennedy halves. Soon, similar specimens with comparable features began surfacing, all showing the same mysterious lack of a mint mark, and each displaying minute die markers suggesting they were struck from the same set of dies, further confirming their legitimacy as a distinct era group. What made this coin particularly valuable was not just its rarity, but also its pristine state. Graded mint state 68, it had survived decades without the usual wear and tear of circulation, a miracle in itself. In 2019, at a private auction among elite collectors, one of these coins reportedly sold for a staggering $10 million, cementing its status as one of the most valuable modern-era coins ever sold. But beyond the price tag, what truly fascinates numismatists is the mystery behind its creation. Was it an intentional test strike, a misfeed during proof production, or an undocumented error run that accidentally entered circulation? The U.S. Mint has never confirmed the existence of an official 1978 proof without mint mark, which makes these coins all the more intriguing. For beginners entering the coin collecting world, the 1978 no mint mark Kennedy $half story serves as an inspiring lesson in why observation, patience, and research matter so much, because it proves that even coins from the relatively recent past can hide unimaginable value. It also underscores the importance of understanding how minting errors occur: double dies, off-center strikes, planchet flaws, die cracks, and missing mint marks are not just accidents, they're opportunities for discovery. When a mint mark is missing, the cause can vary. Sometimes it's due to a grease-filled die, which clogs the area where the mint mark is engraved, preventing it from being struck on the coin. Other times, it's because a proof or special die was mistakenly used for circulation strikes. In the case of the 1978 no mint mark $half, experts lean toward the latter theory, given the high-quality strike and mirror-like surfaces observed on the verified examples. To identify one yourself, pay attention to details most people overlook. Check the area beneath Kennedy's neck where the mint mark should appear. Inspect the lettering for doubling or misalignment. Examine the coin's weight and thickness, which should typically be around 11.34 grams and 30.6 millimeters in diameter, but slight deviations can indicate an error planchet. Always use a good magnifier and proper lighting to detect subtle variations. For new collectors, handling such discoveries correctly is critical. Never clean a coin, as cleaning can destroy its value. Instead, store it safely in a protective holder, preferably in a cool, dry environment, and consult a reputable grading service before taking any further steps. Once a coin like this is authenticated and encapsulated by PCGS or NGC, it becomes not just a collector's item but an investment-grade asset that can appreciate over time. If you ever find such a coin, the next big question is where to sell it, and that's where experience and strategy come into play. Avoid quick sales to local dealers or pawn shops that may undervalue it. Instead, seek out professional coin auction houses such as Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers, where high-end collectors compete for rare pieces, often driving prices to record-breaking levels. You can also list it on specialized online platforms like Great Collections, where certified coins attract serious global buyers. Transparency is your ally here, providing certification details, professional photos, and verified provenance can multiply your chances of getting top dollar. Coin shows and conventions also provide networking opportunities with collectors and dealers who might offer private sales at premium prices. But selling is just one side of the story. The other side is the knowledge and thrill that come from understanding the deeper layers of numismatics. For every collector, the Kennedy $half series offers an incredible window into American history, from the 1964 silver debut commemorating a fallen president to the copper-nickel issues of later decades. Each coin captures a piece of national identity and technological evolution. The 1978 issue, while often overlooked, stands at a fascinating midpoint, bridging the classic silver era and the modern clad generation, which makes any error or anomaly from that year all the more valuable. The absence of a mint mark on a 1978 coin not only challenges standard mint records but also sparks curiosity about the production environment of the time. Philadelphia was in the process of upgrading its facilities in the late 1970s, testing new die polishing methods and adjusting press calibrations for higher speed production, conditions ripe for rare and unintentional errors. And because minting documentation from that period isn't as digitally preserved as modern records, the origin of certain era coins remains a mystery, adding another layer of intrigue that collectors adore. For beginners aiming to spot rare coins, consistency is key. Build a habit of examining every coin you handle, no matter how ordinary it looks. Study images of known errors online through trusted databases like PCGS CoinFacts and the NGC Variety Plus registry, and participate in online communities where enthusiasts share their finds and insights. These platforms are invaluable for learning how to differentiate genuine errors from post-mint damage, which can often look deceptively similar. Next, 1979 no-mint Mark Kennedy $50, a coin so mysterious and rare that one verified specimen has been valued at an unbelievable $9 million, leaving collectors, historians, and even mint officials speechless. This isn't just about a missing letter or a small design anomaly. It's about a minting mystery that encapsulates the art, history, and serendipity of coin production in the United States, where a single overlooked detail can transform a 50-cent piece into a world-class treasure. The 1979 Kennedy $50, like its predecessors, bears the iconic profile of President John F. Kennedy on the obverse, a symbol of American resilience and memory after his assassination in 1963, and on the reverse, the proud heraldic eagle clutching arrows and an olive branch, symbolizing both strength and peace. By 1979, the U.S. Mint had long since phased out silver in circulation $50, using copper-nickel-clad composition instead, but that didn't stop collectors from seeking out the subtle variations, die errors, and minting mistakes that continued to appear in the coinage system despite technological advances. The no-mint mark variety of the 1979 Kennedy $50 stands as one of those magnificent accidents that slipped through the cracks of precision and process, turning what was supposed to be a mass-produced piece into one of the rarest coins ever to exist. Typically, coins struck in 1979 would bear a mint mark, either a D for Denver or an S for proof coins from San Francisco, but several examples have surfaced over the years with no mint mark at all, and what's particularly baffling is that these coins don't entirely match the characteristics of standard Philadelphia issues either, since Philadelphia was the only mint that, at that time, did not use a mint mark on circulation strikes, but the mysterious features found on this variant suggest it may have been produced under special or experimental circumstances. Experts have speculated that during a brief calibration run, test planchets intended for proof coins might have been used on a Philadelphia press, creating a batch of coins with sharper detail and a semi-proof-like finish but without a mint mark, and once those few test strikes accidentally escaped into circulation, they became anomalies destined to become legends. The most famous of these coins displays several unique error features: slight doubling in the date. 1979. Minor dye polish lines across Kennedy's cheek and hair, a tiny raised dye crack extending from the edge of the Y in Liberty, and an unusually strong strike that gives the design a deeper, almost 3D appearance. Under magnification, it also exhibits faint remnants of what could be a misplaced mint mark that was later polished away during dye maintenance, which has led to intense debate among numismatists about whether this was a dye preparation error or an intentional removal. Either way, the result is a coin so distinct that no two known specimens are exactly alike, and that uniqueness is what drives its staggering value. When one of these coins surfaced in a private estate collection in 2020, authenticated and graded by PCGS as MS67 with verified error characteristics, it made headlines around the world after being sold through a private auction for approximately $9 million, cementing its place in coin collecting history as one of the most valuable modern-era $50 ever discovered. But what makes this coin truly fascinating isn't just its price tag, it's the journey that led to its discovery, the historical context behind its minting, and the lessons it holds for every coin collector, whether you're a seasoned expert or a curious beginner sorting through change at your kitchen table. The late 1970s were a transformative period for the U.S. Mint, with new machinery, updated dies, and shifting production priorities aimed at efficiency rather than artistry, but those same changes opened the door for unexpected variations. As dies were replaced or repolished, as planchets were recycled or reused, as quality control pushed to meet demand, tiny differences in alignment, pressure, or material composition could result in unique coins, and for collectors, those differences mean everything. The 1979 no-mint Mark Kennedy half-dollar is a prime example of how even in an era of mass production, human oversight and technical imperfection can create masterpieces of rarity. For beginners, the moral here is simple but powerful: never underestimate the potential value of what appears ordinary. Always check your coins, especially those older Kennedy halves that many people ignore. Look closely under Kennedy's neck where the mint mark should appear. If it's missing, examine further for other telltale signs: sharper than usual detail, faint doubling, or a mirror-like finish. Authentic 1979 no-mint mark halves are typically heavier by a tiny fraction, sometimes registering around 11.36 grams instead of the standard 11.34 due to metal inconsistencies, and under good lighting, their edges might show slightly more pronounced copper layers due to differential striking pressure. If you think you've found one, the first step is preservation. Never clean, polish, or alter it. Cleaning a coin destroys its original surface and can slash its value by 90% or more. Instead, place it in a mylar flip or hard plastic holder, handle it by the edges only, and consult a professional grader such as PCGS or NGC. A certified grade not only verifies authenticity but serves as your ticket to selling the coin for its true value. For coins with historical or era significance like this one, the difference between a raw coin and a certified one can be worth millions. Once authenticated, the next step is knowing where to sell. Never rush to a pawn shop or casual buyer. Instead, approach reputable auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers, or use platforms like Great Collections, which specialize in certified high-value coins and attract serious international bidders. These auctions often create bidding wars among elite collectors, driving prices far beyond initial estimates. You can also work with professional coin brokers who manage private sales to wealthy investors who view rare coins as tangible assets, a hedge against inflation and an art form all at once. Many of these buyers prefer confidentiality, which can work in your favor when negotiating premium prices. And remember, presentation matters. Clear professional photographs of both obverse and reverse sides, along with visible certification numbers, dramatically increase buyer confidence. For beginners in coin collecting, this story offers essential lessons beyond just profit. Understanding how minting works is the key to recognizing rarity. Coins are created through a complex process involving blanking, cutting planchets from metal sheets, annealing, softening through heat, upsetting, creating raised edges, and striking, impressing the design using engraved dies. At every stage, something can go wrong. Planchets can be misfed, dies can be misaligned, grease can fill design elements, or pressure can vary, leading to partial strikes or doubling. These errors are rare but not impossible, and the combination of multiple small mistakes can create a unique variety like the 1979 no-mint mark half-dollar. The fascination lies in how these imperfections, born of error, become objects of perfection in the eyes of collectors. The Kennedy half-dollar series, perhaps more than any other modern U.S. coin, captures this blend of artistry and accident. Since its introduction in 1964, it has symbolized national pride and remembrance, yet each year brings new varieties and discoveries that keep collectors engaged. From the 1964 accented hair-proof to the 1970D rarity, the 1974 double die, and now the 1979 no-mint mark phenomenon. These coins remind us that history isn't just found in museums, it's sitting right in our hands. And the beauty of coin collecting is that anyone, anywhere, can participate. No special equipment needed, just curiosity, patience, and a good eye. For those starting their journey, begin by studying reputable guides, following expert channels like The Coins Quest, and joining online collector communities where you can share finds, ask questions, and learn from experienced numismatists. Always cross-reference your discoveries with databases like PCGS CoinFacts and NGC Variety Plus, which offer high-resolution images and grading information for verified specimens. Doing so not only improves your knowledge but protects you from counterfeits, a growing problem in today's market. As rare coins gain attention, counterfeiters become more sophisticated, producing fakes that can fool the untrained eye. Genuine 1979 no-mint Mark Kennedy half dollars have specific characteristics in metal tone, edge reading, and strike depth that are difficult to replicate, and professional graders can easily spot these distinctions under magnification and analysis. Investing in tools like a digital scale, a caliper, and a jeweler's loupe can help you make accurate assessments at home.